Hey everybody, let's talk about finding a good girlfriend in the Philippines. And I'll tell you about my journey and all the bad girls I found until I found one really good one. I hope you're going to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I decided back in 2015 that I was going to retire to the Philippines. Back then I was watching YouTubers like Philippine Dreams with Ned, Rick Hay, and I was also watching Bud Brown. And it was really good. I got a good feel for Dumaguete watching them. I did a lot of research on Dumaguete. I met a girl online, and she lived in Cebu. She worked in Cebu City. And I thought, oh my God, I'm falling in love with this girl. She had a couple kids. She worked as a housemaid. I was really interested in her. And I started to make plans with her. And I made the big mistake. I was a willing participant in the scam, sending her some money now and then, helping her move back home into the province, supporting her a little bit, sending her a phone. I did all the things you're not supposed to do. But I really thought she was going to be the one. She ended up being pregnant prior to my departure from the U.S. to come live in the Philippines. She finally told me, she was five or 6 months pregnant at the time. So all of a sudden I had to put a stop to everything, reevaluate everything, and I decided I was going to stay in the U.S. a few more years, save up a little bit more money, not be in such a rush to come out there. It's so easy to meet girls online when you're in the U.S. or your home country and you're thinking about coming. You're sitting at home at night, you get home from work, either you're going to watch an old TV show or you're going to get online and research things. And you'd always, on your Facebook, you'd get a friend's request, and it'd be a Filipina or a YouTuber that you're talking to. Somehow you just got more and more friends in the Philippines. And the more friends in the Philippines you got on your Facebook, the more friends requests you got from girls. And you start talking to them, you start chatting to them. And there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people say don't make contact with anybody until you get here. Don't get involved with anybody until you get here. And I think that's good advice. It's very hard advice to take. It's nice to talk to a young girl. It's nice to talk to somebody with a different perspective on life. It's nice to come home from work and there's a message already, she's trying to contact you. It just makes you feel good. It occupies your time. And people say don't send money to these girls in the Philippines, and you should not. You should never send money to anybody until you meet them in person. But as I said, I was a willing participant into some of these scams. Some of these girls who use Facebook and meeting foreigners, older guys, to improve their income. At this time, I'm fully retired, but I decided to go back to work full-time during COVID. There was a shortage of machinists where I was living. Found a nice paying job, close to 30 an hour. And I decided to take it until this COVID blew over and I could get to the Philippines. I already had a ticket for October 2021 to go to Cebu. I ended up having to cancel that and pushing my next date to the end of February. And then I got lucky in the middle of February. The Philippines opened up to everybody that was vaccinated and could fill out, the One Health Pass and meet a few other requirements. So I was coming to the Philippines February 21st, 2022. In the meantime, while I was working, I met another girl online. Yeah, old guy, Paul calls it old dog, new tricks. Old guy can't learn to get out of his own way. So I meet this one girl, and she's has a baby. She's young. She's living with her folks. And I start talking to her, and I like her, and she's smart and articulate. After I met her, I started researching Bohol, and I wanted to come to Bohol, especially the Panglao area. So I started looking, and I found a nice apartment online that was on the beach in Panglao. It was a third-story apartment, one one bedroom, one bath, fully furnished, $15K a month, and I liked it. So I sent her down from where she was living. I said, go check it out, and if it's exactly like the picture, I'm going to rent it. So she took a day. She had to grab a bus and then a trike to get from where she lived to Panglao. And she checked it out, and it was everything I wanted. It had a balcony overlooking the beach. It was a 3-4 minute walk from the apartment to the ocean. It was exactly where I wanted to live. And when I took videos walking up and down the beach, and I'd send them back to my old co-workers and some of my friends, Mike, you're in paradise. And I go, yeah, I know. But before I got there, one of her friends texted me or sent me an instant message telling me that she already had a boyfriend, the father of her child, that they lived together, and she was bragging about how she had this foreigner that was coming to live there and she was going to get all his money and such. So I confronted her with that. I had to do a little research, and I found that it was true. And again, I was taken for a little bit of money. I was taken for a lot of time. And again, it was another Facebook. I met someone on Facebook. I liked them. They video chatted me. Well, what you have to realize, and I realize now, and I realized then, but I was being foolish, is while she's talking to you, he might be off to work, he might be in the other room, he might be outside, he might be at the bar with his friends, and he probably even knows that she's talking to you. As long as his girlfriend gets some money, he's happy with the situation. So, long story short, I broke it off with her prior to me leaving the States and coming to Bohol in Panglao. And I had another friend that helped me get from the airport to the apartment. A very nice young girl, completely opposite of all the other girls that I talked to online. She would check on that apartment before I got there. I had to rent it for a month prior to getting there. And she would go on the weekends to, make sure it was clean, make sure everything was all right. She met me at the airport. She rented a van to take me to the apartment. We got to the apartment. She, showed me where it was at. She showed me where everything was, where to get my laundry done, where to go get food. And she would leave because she went to school in the northern part of the island, and I lived in the southern. So I saw her a couple times during my stay there. I hope you take a moment to like this video and leave a comment below on this subject. Did you find a good girlfriend? Did you find a good wife? Where'd you meet her? Online? In person? Did you meet her back in the States? I'm interested. Just because my experience wasn't so good online doesn't mean it's bad for everybody else. Just keep you updated. I got all the information on Pacific Cross, the Blue Royal Premium Dollar Plan. I'll be sharing that on Saturday. That's my experience with 2 scammers, 2 liars online. Now let's dig into finding a good girl. The dating sites. Why would you pay to meet people on a dating site? I know it works for some people. There's exceptions to every story. There's good and there's bad with every site. As big as Facebook is, and as wide open as Facebook is, once you arrive in the Philippines, hone in to the area you're living. And that's what I did when I moved to Dumaguete. I got a 1-bedroom apartment overlooking a pool. I bought a motorcycle, but I didn't know how to ride. And now I wanted to meet someone. I lived up there by Tan Lai, also by Genob High School. So I would go through Facebook, girls that lived in Dumaguete, and then I found some when they said high school they went to, Genob High School. So I knew they lived close by. And I honed in on 2 girls that I liked talking to, and one of them was Janet. And Janet worked, I'm going to say, a half mile from where I lived. Every day, 6 days a week, She had a 10-year-old son to take care of. So I talked her into coming over. Now, Janet was scared to meet me. You know, she didn't have a lot of experience with foreigners. She worked every day. So she came over. She came up to my apartment. I was on the second floor. And we sat on the balcony and we talked for about 2 hours. And she left. And then she started coming over every day after work and spent a couple hours. And we would talk. And on the weekends, Saturday she worked. And then I would say, let's go do something on a Saturday night. Well, she couldn't. She had family obligations on Saturday. She had to do all her laundry. She had to, do something with her parents. And then Sunday was bonding day with the family. So she didn't have a lot of time. And I'm surprised that it worked out because I'm a needy type of guy. I need a girl to be a full-time girlfriend, not a part-time girlfriend. So one day I told her in the morning, she texts me every morning, I'm leaving for work now. Good morning, Mike. I told her, I'm not feeling too good today. And like 15 minutes later, there's a knock on my door, and it's her. She's over there. She's willing to take a day off from work, take care of me, to make sure I wasn't sick. She checked to see if I had a fever. And all I had was a little headache, and I just didn't feel well. She put that effort in to come and check on me. Nobody else in Dumaguete was going to come and check on me if I was sick. So I just bought a motorbike a few weeks earlier, and I never rode it. I have never ridden a motorbike in my life. And I asked her to come riding with me on Sunday. So she came down on Sunday, and she had her son with her. And she got on her motorbike, and she sort of followed me, and I'm driving, and I'm wobbling, and I'm weaving, and she's taking me down these side roads or barangay roads. And she's riding right behind me, making sure I'm okay. And I could hear her saying, slowly, go slow, go slow. It showed me that she had a sense of caring right there. Like money wasn't an issue. Where I was from, my age wasn't an issue. We got up into Valencia and we went to park. And at the time, I didn't know the rules or the customs here. She paid the parking attendant. 5 pesos for my bike and her bike. I didn't even know you had to pay. We went into the 7-Eleven to get something to drink, and she paid. She wouldn't even look at my money. She just reached in her own purse and paid her own. The whole time we were dating, she never asked me for anything. After a few weeks, I asked her how much she made working. She told me she made 5,000 pesos a month. And then I felt bad that I didn't pay for things because I had a lot more money than she did. And I really liked her. She was cute. She'd come over to the apartment and would clean it. She would always worry about me. When I lost my laundry, which is a story for another day, she was on the phone hunting it down, and she found it after 2 days. She found my laundry and got it back to me. A couple things you need to look for. Family responsibility. Do they have responsibility with their family? Are they in good graces with their family? The one thing I noticed with the 2 girls that took me the most, both were outcasts from their families. They always had the story, oh, my family doesn't help me do this. My family doesn't help me do this or that. Find a girl that's in with her family, has family responsibility, cares about her family. If she cares about her family, she's going to care about her partner, and that partner is going to be you someday. So how does this go about telling you how to find a good girl? Once you get to the Philippines, if you do not already have an online girlfriend, you do not have a wife, you have no relationship, you're just coming here off the boat, off the plane, and you land in Cebu City, Dumaguete, Iloilo, wherever you go, look local for your girls. You have to go out with them a few times. And when you go out to eat, if you sit down, we sat down to eat, and she goes, all I want is rice. You could just see the prices were too high for her. She would never pay, 300, 400 pesos for dinner or lunch. And going to McDonald's was like the biggest treat in the world. So she wasn't asking for top of the line things. She wasn't overpaying for stuff. When we were downtown walking and I wanted to get some fruit to take home, she goes, "Oh, this is too expensive. I'll show you a better price." And she did. She was concerned about me overspending. She didn't want me overpaying for stuff. She didn't want me to waste my money. She didn't want me to waste money, period, her money or mine. And she never asked me for any money during the time we were dating. She never said, "My gas is empty." She never said, "Can you buy me gas? Can you load my phone?" Her phone was broken. It was a bad phone, but it still worked. She never asked me for anything. So my point is, the right girl is going to have respect for you and your safety and your health. She's going to have respect for you and for you to make the best purchases, not to overspend on things, not to get taken at the market. If you lose something, she's going to do her best to find it. She's going to care a lot about your health. If you're sick, you don't feel good, you got a headache, she's going to massage you. She's going to do all these things to make sure that you're happy, healthy, and taken care of. When you find that girl, lock into her and keep her. I do know you can walk into the malls, you can talk to women, and usually a single girl, her friend will say to you, "Oh, she's single and available." I also know when you get on Facebook and you start talking to these girls, ask them a few questions. First thing, ask them their age. Me, I have come up with a decision, no one under 30, ever. And that was, if I was 50, I would say the same thing. Ask them if they have kids. If so, how many? And where's the dad? A lot of times they're going to go, "He's gone," or they're going to act like he's dead. He's dead. Ask these questions. Ask them where their parents live. Where's the family? Go visit the family. But just remember one thing. Once you find her and you invite her to come live with you, she's yours. Breaking up with a girl that's living with you is hard. Make sure you made the right choice. And one other thing, don't lie to the girls. Tell them your intentions. If you're only going to be here for a year and then you're going back to the States, tell them that. If you're only going to be here 6 months and going back to the States and then you're going to come back, tell them that. Be open about it. If you meet one online that you really like and you have a set date, let them know what that date is. Tell them to meet you at the airport. Have them meet you at the ferry, however you get to your final destination. And if you buy them stuff online, if you meet a girl and it's online, it's a long distance relationship, and you look around their home and you say, "Oh, I want to help you. I want you to buy a cooking stove." Send them the money for that. But then ask to see it. Ask to see the receipt. Look at it every now and then. After a couple of weeks, see if it's still there. Is she using it? Trust, but verify. You get a good girl, you're going to be happy forever here. You keep running into the bad girls, you're going to have nothing but headaches. And I am so thankful my headaches are gone. I'm just sharing what happened to me and what I found and how happy I am now that I found the right girl. Janet's not here today, but I did not want to talk about things in the past with her here next to me. So one thing you want to remember, the girl that you choose to be your partner, you're going to put your life in her hands. You're going to be with her a long time. I'm going to assume that you're older. You're going to need to go to the hospital someday. You're going to be sick. You're going to need somebody to go get the money out of the bank to pay the hospital bill if you don't have insurance. You have to trust her with your life to get you to the hospital in time if you need to. You need someone you can trust with everything. You can trust them with your money. You trust them with your life. You trust them with your health. So I hope you found this video helpful. Thanks for watching. Until next time.